Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm here in Scottsdale for the Barrett-Jackson event. And of course, we are still here at the Shelby American layout and setup. Of course, talking about Shelby American, there's that new GT500 that Ford has been doing their thing with, but guess what? Shelby American has taken it to the next level. What I have is this 2021 Shelby GT500 SE. But before we get into this very, very special of a Shelby, let's talk about what's going on here. Shelby American has been around since the 1960s. That brainchild of Carroll Shelby that has worked with Ford for so many years to take the Mustang, take the GT40, the Daytona Coupes and Cobra 427s and really bring performance, race wins, and all that other history. Fast forward to the 21st century, Carroll Shelby may not be with us anymore, but his legacy lives on with these vehicles that have been brought out by Shelby American. Now, when you go GT500, 2021 GT500, you buy it from the dealership, that car comes from Michigan. What you're now able to do is actually have it sent over to the folks at Shelby American, and they're gonna work their muscle car magic. Not only from a performance standpoint, but also from an appearance standpoint, and really give you that true, unique Shelby experience. If you currently own a Shelby GT500 or even a GT350, you could have that vehicle sent over, or even a Mustang GT. The great news is that when it rolls out of the facility, it's gonna have a true CSM number, and the even better news is that with this special edition, you're even getting extra horsepower on the GT500 that came from Ford and went to Shelby American. So what I wanna find out is, if you're gonna get a GT500, many years to choose from, is it the way to go and have Shelby American work their magic and go SE Widebody? Because that's what we have. So let's go ahead, let's dive in and see if we can answer that question. Right off the bat, the style. You really just know that there's something special and unique, not just about the color, but all the fine touches. When we start at the front of the business, you're gonna get that older style headlight design that's found on the GT500 and the GT350. I actually like this headlight design a little bit more than what's currently available, but you have your LED tri-bar set up. You see that extra width from the GT500 that you get from the factory, and that's a lot of this is the factory touches, but I promise you're gonna see some big changes. Now, as we come across the front, where one thing that just lets you know that this is different is gonna be the badge. This is that signature edition, that SE special edition with a clean badge. You have that full functionality. I like the way they kept a lot of it the same from the factory. And that's the thing is that they had to work very closely with Ford to see what they were gonna modify. Because remember, this does not have your standard 10-speed or a 6-speed. It has that 7-speed DCT, that Tremec DCT transmission. But so far from the front, looking good, just like any other GT500. I wish they would have got rid of the gloss black. That is the one zonk, but let's get on to the big talking point. Up onto the hood, you have some major changes. Yes, you have your stock heat extractor, but look what we have. This is a full dry weave carbon fiber hood. I love the way they kept the carbon fiber on those additional heat extractors, because remember, from the factory, this is what you get. These are the added additions to that bulge, and everybody wants the bulge when they get their performance car, but this one, the bulge is made out of carbon fiber. It sheds, this hood, which we're gonna be able to open, sheds about 10 pounds of weight off of the front end of the GT500. Now, when we come around the bend, looking at wheel and tire setup, you're gonna get these absolutely stunning multi-spoke wheels, gloss black. I love the design. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size? It's a 20-inch wheel, so they kept it the same dimension diameter-wise, but you know what? Up front, you're getting 305s, and you're getting those Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires. Remember, those are those little bit more track-specific tire. You're gonna be able to get some more grip and more stick, but what you're also getting is, of course, these Shelby wheels, and you're getting custom painted calipers, those massive calipers, 6-piston with the Shelby name on it, those brake rotors that are over 15 inches, 15 and a half inches in diameter, really gonna give you that ultimate braking capability, but really I think the wheel works super well with this signature edition. Now, coming down the side, you are gonna get the side stripe, but where the big changes from the GT500 from the factories, as we continue towards the rear, we have a wide body. So when you go wide body, this is gonna be that extreme. This is where all those man hours into not only making the hood, but also bringing that extra width. And I'm gonna have Lori kind of swing around and just show the sheer width that comes. Everything is so seamless as it comes into the back. I love on the rear pillar, they have the Carroll Shelby badge, like he signed it himself. Obviously looking down and really proud of what's going on at Shelby American. We drop down and what are we working with out back? You're still gonna get, of course, that 20-inch wheel. These wheels are forged aluminum, all four corners. That's gonna give you a nice, light, strong wheel. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size out back? 345 on the width. I love just how nicely this vehicle sits. Remember, it's on some lowering springs, gives it a perfect amount of gap between inside the fender and the top of the tire. And even the way it extends out on the front side there just looks really, really sick. Just sitting still, I can't wait to drive one of these. That's gonna be an amazing experience. But as we kind of wrap it around towards the rear, you're gonna get your standard GT500 wing, and then dropping on down, we got our signature edition badge, the Shelby name, and then of course that factory rear diffuser with those massive exhaust tips. But why don't we go ahead, looking at the back is great, nice, wide and low. Let's pop the hood and see what's powering our signature edition Shelby. All right guys, we got the hood open on the signature edition. I want to showcase just the beautiful work that's done on the underside, and this lets you know that this is not just some hood that has some carbon fiber. This hood is made out of carbon fiber. They actually had to put a different hood strut because of how much lighter it is, but all the beautiful work really done right. You drop down, of course you're going to see a lot of what you're going to see on a standard GT500. Obviously that beautiful Shelby overflow tank with the beautiful welds, flat black, and you're gonna get an additional 40 horsepower. So we're talking about over 800 horsepower in this 5.2 liter supercharged V8. And like I was saying, when you come around to the fender, one of the fine touches is you get a true CSM number, because from the factory, the GT500 is not a true Shelby American product. Now that this vehicle was sent to Shelby American, and all of these touches, including that wide body setup, now it is a true Shelby American product, signature edition. Why don't we go ahead though, let's get to the inside, but before we do that, let's fire up this piece and hear what it sounds like. All right guys, we're inside this signature edition GT500, very special car from a very special place. And I know you're saying to yourself, well Joe, I've seen GT500s, I want something a little bit more. Or let's say you have a GT500 and you want to go the signature edition route, you could have them do it. All told, all inclusive, you're looking at a price around $134,000 for the way that this one is set up, especially with the premium interior. But let's see what you're getting for the money to the door panel. So on the door panels, you are getting your standard GT500 standard fare, but the great news is it looks clean, super classic in the style. And then going from the door panel to the dash, there's another touch. You get to see that signature edition CSM serial number. This gets put in the registry along with the other great Shelby American products. Nice to see that there. You have your 2 auxiliary gauges, your 8-inch infotainment system. And when I say auxiliary gauges, we're talking about oil pressure, oil temp. Work your way down. Everything else is standard or fare, just like your own GT500 that you could buy from your local dealership. That's going to control that 7-speed DCT, but now you have extra horsepower. The big news in this interior though are the seats. So as we swing around, this does have those Recaro one-piece backs, the Carroll Shelby embroidery. I love the way they brought the color from the outside to the interior, especially the design setup all the way down. Nice bolstering. They are manual adjustment for the passenger and the driver, but what you do get, we have a color match cage in the back with the Shelby name. Really gives it that great look with the rear seat delete. It looks like you're in a race car. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this 800 horsepower GT500. All right guys, business time behind the wheel of this GT500 signature edition wide body. Really has that great look. Sitting here, the seats feel great. just like my own Recaros that I have in my GT350. I love the way they kept the Ford Performance badge down there. Everything else is great. Steering wheel, that Alcantara with the leather, and of course that Cobra that's about to bite you in the neck, but it would be such a sweet death to die from the venom of that snake. Now you do have your magnesium paddles to go up and down that 7-speed DCT, and just like any other GT500, we do have the 12-inch digital display with your different drive modes, so you get your 12 inches and you get your bulge and you get carbon fiber. And it's a special wide body, something that's going to separate you from the rest of the pack. But I definitely want to thank everybody here at Shelby American at the Barrett-Jackson event, really allowing us access to these very special vehicles for enthusiasts like you and I. If you want to go big with your GT500, this is the way to go, and you will be the talk of the town, I promise you that. But if you want to keep seeing vehicles like these here on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content, 2 ways to do it. Click the first link, become a Rady's Rides Patreon member. Click the second link, get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to give it up to the queen of the camera. She's out here like a cobra, just getting all the angles just for you. Show Lori some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.